Hey, what's up, my YouTube fam? I'm back. This is Larry with Invest and Build Your Credit and Wealth. Today, we're going to be talking about how do you remove medical debt from your credit report. We're going to be talking about different strategies. We're going to be talking about it from the debt collector side. We're going to be talking about it from the credit repair side. We're going to be talking about some of the things you need to be watching off, the laws, the violations that they may be doing. We're going to cover all of that in this class. So stay tuned, stay hyped, take your notes. We're going to help you get these medical debts off your credit report. But next, I want to say, hey, thank you. It's 2021. It's a Saturday out here in California, and I want to definitely bring you some positive information to get you in the right direction so you can improve your credit score, get them negative items off your credit report, and improve your credit score, and the most important thing, be able to invest in yourself and grow your wealth and become financially independent. It is crucial, very important. I'm telling you that you be able to do that and move in the right direction because we are changing how money is being moved. The wealth is definitely moving in a different direction, and you have to be preparing yourself for that. So that's why I want to bring you this information. I want you to be prepared, right? So thank you for all my new subscribers. Please subscribe to the channel. Please hit the thumbs up. I'm definitely trying to grow this channel. I want to get this information out. And the only way I could do that is for y'all to do it. So YouTube would say, hey, people want to hear about this. And then they're going to be pushing the information out. So if you're looking at it, hey, don't be stingy. Like, share, hit the like, share the information to get it out to amongst people so we can improve on ourselves and definitely grow, I'm putting out a lot of good information. Sometimes I feel like YouTube don't want me to get this information out to everybody. But I'm gonna continue to keep pushing it to get you this real information now that I know work, did the research, the studies. I talked to consumer lawyers. They've helped me out. So, hey, just share the page, right? Share, hit the like and subscribe. So let's get into it. Medical debt collections. The first thing we're going to talk about is on the debt collector side, right? So you received a letter from a debt collector saying that you owe X amount of money to them, right? And they should have the original creditor name. And if they don't, then they're already in violation. But say they have the original creditor name in there and you're like, okay, open your mail up. You see it. What's the first thing you should do? I use affidavits. Again, I have a lot of people that have called me, requested, asked for these affidavits. I sell them for a very small fee. Because I definitely want to help people along with the restrictive endorsement letters. They help them settle it if they're having issues and instructions and give them a lot of different tools for them to get this medical debt off their credit report. But anyway, I use the affidavits, and I like to talk about all the different things that's going to cover them. They're trying to collect the debt on you. So every one of these regulations got something to do with how debt collectors are supposed to be collecting on debt. The Fair Debt Collection Practice Act, in accordance to 15 USC 1692G, the Fair Billing Act, your state Fair Debt Collection Practice Act. That's very important to know what that is. The Fair Credit Reporting Act, Section 623, and in 1681S, Section 617, 1681O, Section 605 and 605A, 1681C, the HIPAA, which is the Health and Insurance Probability and Accountability Act, 45 CRF, Section 160, 162, and 164, and the Model Medical Debt Protection Act. A lot of people don't talk about that, but they cover a lot of things in there the debt collectors must do when collecting on debt, right? So another section I put in there is if a debt collector for a healthcare provider violates the laws, and patients would have a private right of actions under the Unfair and Deceptive Act and Practice, which is the UDAP, laws with associated damages. All right, in conjunction and relief, right? So that's a part of the Medical Debt Protection Act, right? That's why I said there's a lot of things that people don't bring out that you have to dig when you're dealing for a debt and medical collection debt, right? The other thing I put in there, the other thing you need to do, you always in your letter, you should always state, this is, if it is, you should know what your state statutory limitations. I'm in California, 4 years. So if that medical debt is outside of 4 years, I let them know that this is what I tell them. I put the collection company name and I say, I cannot be sued for this collection. This account has reached the statutory limitations to force collection upon me. Because once it is outside that statute of limitation, they cannot force collection. Understand what I'm telling you? They could ask for collection, but they can't force collection because they can't sue you. Suing is forcing somebody to pay on a debt. They can't do that, so they can't force collections, which takes a lot of leveraging power off them. But then I also come back and say, because you can't force collection of this debt, I have no obligation to pay you. And because of this, you are using my credit report to force collection of this debt, right? Now, because of that, now I'm going to be scrutinizing everything they do, right? I'm going to scrutinize. The reason I always send letters in because debt collectors make mistakes just sending letters. Remember, they have to send you a plain envelope. It can't have their name, any information. You cannot even see within the whites of it what it's saying in there. You could see that envelope says this is a debt and it shows a debt and it's from, you can go after them for that. They can't do that. That's why it's so important for you to open up your mail, because it doesn't have any indications of what it is, right? So open it up, right? So once you mail off that letter to them, you're going to wait for the response. Now, when they get a response, what they should be sending you is the information on the medical billing. So a lot of people have this myth or this misconception, which is false, that HIPAA covers medical billing. HIPAA allows for medical billing. You can look it up. You can call a person that specializes in HIPAA. It does allow for medical billing. Now, it doesn't allow for sharing of medical information, right? Meaning they can't be knowing why you went to the doctor and what was diagnosed for you and all that. They can't do that. But that don't mean they can't share how much the bill was, right? And that's what a lot of people get. But we're going to talk about another strategy that you can use, right? But let's continue on. So you get this, they're going to send you something back, and it should have who the original creditor is, the amount of the debt, and the address, where it's coming from, all that information, right? So what is your next step? If they don't send you that, say if they send you a letter on their letterhead and said, hey, we verified this is accurate and you owe this debt, red flags right there. Red flags. I had a client that sent in a letter for a medical debt. That's what they did, but they made a crucial mistake. Something simple. They did not put on his letter that this is an attempt to collect the debt, and any information can be used for such. They did not put that on the letter, which is a violation. Now he has leverage over them. I have proof that you violated the Fair Debt Collection Practice Act. Now, when you're going to send that response letter, and if there's violation, you're going to show them the errors that they made, and please remove, I could take this and move this up the chain, or I could talk to a consumer lawyer on what my next steps on this violation that you just done on the Fair Debt Collection Practice Act. That's why it's so important to send these validation letters. They make mistakes all the time, and we're going to cover a bunch of mistakes a few minutes on debt collection letters, right? So send in that letter. Okay, so another thing that once you get that letter back, another strategy that you can use, you get it back. You're going to have to make a decision. Okay, do I want to kind of settle this debt? Do I want to pay this debt? What do I want? Do I want to go out and sue them and go after them? Or do I want to just kind of settle this debt and get it removed? First strategy you should do. Okay, I want to settle this debt. But a strategy you can use is, okay, call the original creditor billing and say, hey, listen, I have a collection company that's going after me for this collection. I am trying to purchase a home. I have no problem paying this medical debt. But can we do something and recall this medical debt? And also, can you send me the HIPAA release form so I could sign it, send it back so you can send me all my medical billing information so I can make sure this collection company is trying to collect this bill according to the laws and regulations, right? But I don't even want to do that. If you could recall this debt, or we can make arrangements and you can recall this debt, and I just take care of this debt with you. That is a strategy that you can use, and it'll work. You'll call them. They may tell you something like, hey, I can't do that. I need to talk to my supervisor and get the approval. Yes, I have no problem. Let's go that route. I'm really trying to purchase a home. I don't have a problem paying this, but I definitely want to get this removed off my credit report and take care of this, right? That is a strategy that you can use. Get the name of the person. Tell them, hey, can I call you back in 72 hours to see if this got approved? Boom, 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 so we can move forward, right? That is a strategy that you can use. The next thing you do, just say, you know what, I don't want to go through all that. I just want to settle the debt. The next strategy you can use is, what I do is a restrictive endorsement letter. What it is a contract between you and the collection agency, and you're going to write your terms and conditions. One of them is that you want it removed off your credit report. You're going to use a payment method, and within that payment method, you're going to write your terms and conditions on, right? If you want that letter and instructions on what to do, because there are specific instructions you need to do, let me know. Send me an email. I sell those letters very cheap. So you can get this stuff removed off your credit report. So give me a call, even not call, an email. I had to take my number down because I live in California. People from the East Coast calling me at 7 o'clock their time, at 4 o'clock my time. I ain't even woke up yet. So I had to take my number down. I'm like, hold up. So email me. Once you email me, I will give you my number and explain the process if that's what you want, and we'll go from there, right? So but again, that's another strategy. You can go ahead and use a restrictive endorsement letter. It sets out, it got all the legal terms, the terms and conditions and everything you need to have in there for them to settle that debt and remove it off your credit report. So let's talk about some of the things that they must do. I did put this in another video, but it wasn't on medical debt. This also applies for medical debt information. Certain things that they must put, language required in a debt collection letter. They must have the name of the creditor, the amount owed, how the debtor can debate the amount if he or she doesn't think they owe the debt. That has to be in there. Privacy laws. The debtor are protections under privacy laws when it comes to debt collection law. A collector agency cannot refer to themselves as a debt collection agency on their company envelope. Remember, I told you, on their envelope. In addition, the agency is not allowed to send a collection notice on a postcard because that is considered evasion of privacy. Threats and untruthful statements. Sending a debt collection letter and that has empty threats is illegal. For instance, a debt collection debtor cannot threaten that a consumer will be arrested or sentenced to prison if they don't pay the debt. In addition, a agency cannot threaten or garnish a person's wages if they live in a state where wage garnishment is not permitted. Find out in your state. Am I in a state where my wages can be garnished? If they're not, they can't even garnish your wages, right? So next step, which is a good tool when because if they can't garnish your wages, you sort of said sometimes it makes things more difficult for them to collect on a debt, right? They have 30 days to validate that. They have to tell you have 30 days to validate this notice. Additional things on a letter, right? The letter, they must include the letter is from a debt collection agency and is also unlawful for a collector to refer to themselves as a government agency. The collection agency office hours, they have to have that on there. They got to have office hours and phone number on there. The other thing, the collection letter can only be used in terms of a litigation or legal actions. If a collector has actually authorized litigation, in other words, they cannot use those terms as a tack to scare you into paying debt, like litigation. They can't use those words because that's trying to scare you into paying the debt. So if you get a letter and they got litigation in there, you got them. They've already in violation of the language that could be used in a fair on a debt collection letter. Also, the collection agency should never offer a creditor a loan arrangement in order to collect on a debt. They can't do that. There's a few other things to and like I said, that they have to put in there, this is an attempt to collect the debt. Any information obtained will be used for that purpose. That has to be in there. So those are the things that's why it's so important to send those letters out, because in those letters, there may be certain things that they put in there, which is a violation. That's why it's important for you to send them, right? So we got through that. We talked about sending a debt collection letter. We talked about waiting to see when you get the responses. Are there any violations in the language of the letters? We talked about the restrictive endorsement letter if you want to settle the debt strictly with the collection agency. We talked about talking to the original creditor, whoever the hospital, the billing information, to ask them to recall the debt from the collection agency, and you're willing to take care of that debt with them, for the purpose you're trying to buy a home, trying to get your family out of a bad neighborhood. It's a lot of stuff going on here, and you just want to protect your kids. Make it a sob story, shoot. And then can you please, I will definitely take care of this debt. Can we make arrangements? Can you please recall the debt from the collection company, and let's move forward with it, right? That's another strategy. So we talked about that. Now we're going to talk a little bit about the credit reporting side of it. So when you're dealing with medical debt, it has to say medical. It has to be a medical collection, right? It has to be a medical collection. They need to state that on there, right? The other thing is it must have the original creditor's name on there. If you have a debt collection company and they don't have the original creditor's name on there, that is a part of K1 of Metro 2. It's a violation, K1 and K2, under the original creditor name. And again, let me read this. It says, the purpose of reporting the original creditor name is to help the consumer identify the source of the account when they appear on a credit report. Without the original creditor name, the consumer may not know what the account represents. Have to have that in there, right? Wouldn't tell you wrong. I got the letter right here, Metro 2, original creditor name. So listen, those are the things you need to look at. They can't be reporting past due balances. Wrong. You never made a payment to the collection agency, but they have on there that your last payment made was such and such. Wrong. They can't report a medical collection on your credit report for up to 180 days. Now, we're going to talk about some other things. Remember, I talked to you about the model medical debt protection act that I just showed you. That's something else that collection companies have to follow. We'll talk about some of these in here, right? I'm just gonna cover a couple things because this is you can, hey, listen, this is, you can get this online. On my master credit repair package, it's in there too if you want this information. So hey, it's all there. It's all for you to get and understand. So let me get to this part. There was I highlighted a couple sections. So the guideline for discounts under the financial assistance policy. This all falls up under certain things that you may want to know that you didn't know, right? So under the Model Act, if a patient's household income is at or below 200% of the federal poverty level, then the hospital or healthcare provider must, did you hear what I said? Must offer free care. Did you get that? And it's all in there. Under the Model Act, if a patient's household income is at or below 200% of the federal poverty level, which is the FPL, then a hospital or healthcare provider must provide free care. All right. Debt collection, protection, and guidelines. We're going to cover a couple of these. One of them I want to tell you, and I wrote in my letter again, in my affidavit. This is one of the sections I put in my affidavit: remedies for violation under the Model Medical Debt Protection Act. If a healthcare provider or a debt collector for a healthcare provider violates the laws, the patient would have a private right of action under the State Unfair and Deceptive Act practice, the UDAP law, which any associated damages or conjunction relief. Some other thing, a debt collector protection of the Model Medical Billing Practice Act apply to all health care providers as well as debt buyers and debt collections that are collecting medical debt. All right. If a patient qualifies for a discount and payment plan under the FAP, then no interest will be added to the medical expense, right? Another thing, for patients who do not qualify for a discount under the FPA, interest or their medical debt is eliminated to the rate based on the U.S. Treasury yield. Healthcare providers and debt collection must provide patients with detailed receipts of payment so that the consumer can keep track of their payments, and if there are future attempts to collect the medical debt, can provide that the debt has been paid or discharged, right? Another thing, the Model Medical Debt Protection Act provides additional guidelines for permissible and prohibited debt collection practices. So this manual has a lot of information in there. Like I said, if you want more of this information, email me. I just wanted to come at with you some strategies to get this stuff removed. Listen, follow the plan. If you follow the plan, you can get this stuff off. Like I said, there's more than one strategy to get it off. You got to make sure you use, if the first strategy doesn't work, you move to the second one. The second strategy don't work, you move to the third one. The third strategy don't work, you move to the one. If you know they're reporting something and they're verifying it on your credit report is accurate, you know absolutely it's wrong. You got the information. You're looking at it to see it's wrong. Consult a consumer lawyer. Go after them. That's the best way. Best way, and maybe you'll get some money out of it for them damaging your credit report and creating a situation to make it very difficult for you to be able to provide credit and to help provide for your family. So, hey, this is Larry with Invest, Improve Your Credit and Wealth. I'm talking about my company name because my company name is Advanced Loan Credit Services But this YouTube channel is not called that. This YouTube channel is Invest and Build Your Credit and Wealth, because I want to help you build your credit and I want to help you build your wealth. And I'm coming out with a serious investment video coming up today, later on today. So stay tuned. I'm going to show you my portfolio, what I've done in 8 months. Well, the first week of May going in, so it could be 9 months, 8 months. But you're going to be surprised how my gains have been in these 8 months of investing, and I want to bring that knowledge to y'all. So hey, I appreciate all you done. Please subscribe to the channel now. Don't be slipping on that. Hit that like button, man. I can't get this information out if y'all don't like it. I mean, I can't help nobody if y'all don't like it, man. Y'all gotta like the channel, man, and bring that love back so I can push that love back out to everybody else, man. I appreciate y'all coming out from California, and I appreciate y'all every day. Stay strong, keep pushing, work on your wealth, become financially free. That's why I'm here to help you. So thank you.